Hey, how's it guys? Alright, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a very simple, basic Markdown editor using PyQt6 in Python. Now, before we dive into the tutorial, so this is going to be the Markdown editor that we're going to create. It's very basic, nothing fancy. And if you want to make your Markdown output look pretty like GitHub, then you will need to incorporate your CSS style sheets or JavaScript and so on. So basically, on the left-hand side, we have the Markdown editor. On the right hand side is going to be the output that we're going to display. So for example, if I update the title, let's do GA for tutorial. So whenever you type in the editor, it's going to automatically display insert Markdown view window. Alright, so to create the Markdown editor, so here I'm going to insert my code snippet. And for the widgets that I'm going to use, I'm going to use the QMain window widget as the main application window. Then I'm going to import the PyQt6 edit as the text boxes. And for this tutorial, we don't need to import anything else. And let me make the font size a little bigger. Alright, so I'm going to name this as app window. And I'll replace the Q widget with the QMain window widget. Now here I'm going to modify the CSS style sheet. I want to set the default font size to 17 pixels. And I also want to insert window title on the top. Now to place the two text boxes side by side horizontally, here I'm going to create a QWidget object. I'm just going to be as the main window. Then I'll create a QHBox layout object, and basically that's the horizontal box layout manager. And I'll insert the main window object to inherit the layout manager. And the reason being is because QMain window widget does not have any set layout method. And here I'm going to use the set central widget method and use the main window object as the main overall interface window. Now to create the Markdown editor, so first I'm going to insert the two PyQt6 edit widgets. So here I'm going to create a method called initUI. And I'll be using this method to insert the widgets on the application window. Alright, so inside the initUI method, I'm going to create two PyQt6 edit objects. One is going to be the Markdown editor, and the other one is going to be the Markdown viewer. And to view the Markdown, I'm going to set the read-only property to true, so that will disallow people to be able to make any changes. Then I can add those two text boxes to the self.layout object. Alright, so here I'm going to code the initUI method. Now if I launch the application, let's see. Oh, so we have a syntax error right here. Alright, so we now have the default interface. So this is going to be the Markdown editor. So right now it's not doing anything because we haven't implemented the signal yet to output the contents on the Markdown viewer. So to convert the text editor content to Markdown format, so from the PyQt6 edit widget, there's a method called setMarkdown. So basically what this method is going to do is it's going to convert whether the contents that you are providing, and it's going to convert the content into Markdown format basically. Now if we look at this Markdown update method, so basically I'm saying that take the content from the Markdown editor text box and convert the content into Markdown syntax. And since we want to return the output automatically, so I'm going to create another method called initConfigSignals. Inside this method, I'm going to configure the Markdown editor object's text change signal. I want the signal to fire every time when I make a change to the Markdown editor text box. And when the Markdown editor object receives the signal, then I want to call the Markdown update method. Now to implement the signal, so I'm going to go back to the constructor. and I'll call the init config in the method once I launch the application. And that's everything we need to do to create this basic Markdown editor. So here I'm going to type this is a Markdown editor, and followed by some text. So testing. And as I mentioned before, to make the Markdown content look prettier, you'll need to incorporate CSS style sheets or use JavaScript to prettify the content. The PyQt Markdown feature will only providing with the very basic functionalities. For other Markdown related features, you'll need to create them on your own. Alright, so this is going to be everything I'm going to share in this video, and hope you guys find this video useful. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give this video a like and click on the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.